Hey everybody, it's Red here, and today we're going to be talking about Chasm on Steam for the PC. This is another one of the games that Steam has recommended for me, and it is a Metroidvania Roguelike. So I've beaten the game, so I'm just going to be meandering around probably like I usually do when I play through these. And you can see it took me a little over 7 hours to beat this game, and you can see the seed if you want to embarrass me of how fast you can get it done, or just showing me up. It's right there. So to start off, this game reminds me a lot of the Castlevania games, which is to be expected, at being a Metroidvania. But this game, for some reason, also hits me with a Wanderers from East vibe from on the Super Nintendo. So that's always a good thing. Even though that game's probably the worst in the series, it's a good thing to be reminded of that. Just kind of have that feel. So it being a roguelike, everything is pretty much random. So you'll see everything is random. You'll see the treasures that I haven't gotten, which are marked on the map, which are to me a good thing, so that I know to go back and get them. I think most new games do that these days. They have some sort of marker or indicator, like, hey, you've missed a treasure chest, or like in Monster Boy, it's kind of here's what it is type thing, especially after you get it. I always like that. It's kind of my memory. I'm 40 years old now. My memory's not what it used to be, so going back into every room is not exciting. And while I'm here, I really enjoy having the ability to warp to a save point. I think we're in our all of our Metroidvania careers, where there should really be just one point. It should be a warp and save point together, and you can just kind of warp wherever you want to go, or save wherever you want to go. But it's nice that they give you the option to actually warp to a save point right there, because I don't know how many times that's saved me from disaster. So again, there's I don't know how many millions of rooms or seeds that there are, because I didn't do the hexadecimal math of how many of there are, but something I thought that may have been interesting. So there's puzzles, and there's one puzzle in particular with the gear. I'm not gonna ruin it, but in all of the seeds, there's from my math, and please correct me if I'm wrong, there are 729 variations of this same labyrinth. The only difference is that puzzle. It could be more. I did basic, just some basic math. So it's kind of there's a lot of things that can change on playthrough to playthrough. And this is mainly what this game is. This game is not super long, and it's not super difficult. There are parts which are more difficult, and going back and exploring that add a little bit of time. But all in all, the game is not super bad. It's not super difficult. It's not. It won't stress you out. I kind of found it relaxing. Another thing is, I'm always a fan of games that have an arena in them. I always want to see how good I am, or how far I can be pushed before my character before I run out of luck, or I run out of skill, or both. And by the way, that's the reason I use the whole mallet thing. It's just to hit people. We're not gonna save. I'm not gonna save this. So And another thing that I really enjoyed was some of the rare items. So, you know, you can get a drop from an enemy that's, I'll show you, like this jewel ring, which is one of the probably the best things that I've gotten to drop from an enemy. You know, there's various levels of rarity on them as well, so that you can, if you found one of the best items that you wanted, and then you want to go back and, you know, get more of them and try to get a rarer one, there's always that possibility. I'm not sure how luck affects things as much as, because I'm not seeing those rates of drop rates. I do know that as we're kind of walking into the bad territory about the game, that I noticed that there was a huge difference when I raised my luck 10 points. When I had that jewel ring, before that, I wasn't getting much money dropped, and money was always kind of tight and sparse, and I had to, you know, pinch and save for anything that I wanted to buy. Because I'll admit, sometimes I do get sloppy when I'm playing, and you see me right now. I'm not being the best at playing the game, but once I raised my luck like 10 points, money started to seem just to fall out of everywhere. I mean, I did the venison quest at pretty much close to the end of the game, and I made 800 gold in the time it took me to get four of those venison, and that's probably more than I made through the first half of the game. So it's just kind of know that. And this is the first time I've been poisoned, by the way, so I don't know if it ever wears off or not. I guess there's a timer on the. This is what I get for wandering around recording, because I'm trying to do two things at once. But something that I've kind of noticed is that the sub weapons, there's all the Castlevania sub weapons in here, but the only one that really seems worthwhile to me is the dagger, or the knives. They only cost one. They shoot pretty straightforward, and pizza. And you know, I get kind of the most use out of them, even though they don't really raise your magic damage. Because something like the we'll go ahead and eat the pizza. So the axe kind of throws up. It's just. It's not really. I can't really throw it that far. That's what I really need, is something that I can throw far away. Like, I didn't use the boomerang. I used the shurikens once on accident. And the Molotov is strange because it's not the fire that does the damage. It's the bottle. So you have to hit people with the bottle to do the 21 damages or 20 damage or whatever it said, instead of the flame doing the damage, which really kind of it should be. That's the point of it's, if I threw a Molotov at someone, it wouldn't be the bottle that would hurt them the most. It would be the fire, them catching on fire and stuff like that. So I mean, to me, they're beyond the knife. They're pretty much worthless because all I did was pretty much throw the stuff around, keep a distance from the enemies, because they don't go too far unless you're unless you're actually trying to aim at something pretty far, and then it may take a little bit of skill. But no, those are by far the best. The best sub-weapon in kind of my opinion. And I had completely forgotten this area existed. So, it's okay, now we're back here. We're at some light. Also, the enemies can block a lot of your sub-weapons as well. They can block normal hits, which is fine. But yeah, if I'm trying to get some distance, especially some of the lesser enemies without shields can block your sub-weapon, which is kind of annoying. You know, you're looking to throw them in damage, but instead all they do is sit around and they block them, which it is a change of pace, but I'm not a huge fan of it. Another thing is kind of the warp scrolls. Little expensive. 500 gold is a little pricey, and I know you can sell, stuff at the shops, but me, I'm a hoarder in RPG, so I hoard everything. I try not to sell anything at all, just because I just like to hoard. I mean, I'll just gather everything. Like the last few Castlevania games that came out on the DS, I 100%ed them just because I was like, I want to hoard all of their products. But yeah, 500 gold is a little pricey. So they're kind of, making you make that decision early on of, do you want to spend your money on maybe some healing potions, or do you want to spend your money on equipment? Because you can always, level up, and you can always, fight enemies for equipment. And I think my last major point was this kind of being a roguelike, is that the only help that you can ever get from people online. I got stuck here trying to figure out what to do exactly, and I had missed a room, and the most anybody can tell you is you need to go back and check everything. You need to go back and look here, and you need to go back and look there, because they can't give you the answer, because the 3 or 4 big puzzles that are in the game are random. So you have to know where that item is, or where that book is that tells you the thing, unless somebody has a chart or diagram about every seed, which would seem a little crazy. The game, I like the game, but the game's not that good to where you go around and you develop a whole seed chart of every puzzle. I can only imagine how long that takes. But that's probably my biggest complaint, is just really that the only help that you can give anybody is you need to go back and check. There's a room you missed, there's a book you missed, there's something that you missed somewhere that you need to go find. There's one puzzle where you have to hit 5 bells. You need to specifically find that book, and that book is in a library, which is placed somewhere, and you have to go find it. So I didn't have any problem beyond that. Like, there was no weird disconnected rooms or anything like that. I'm about to get hit with this on. Yep. But there was nothing strange like that. It was pretty much me missing something, and that's, again, the best advice that they can give you is, oh yeah, I've been in there, that you need to go back and look for something. Yep. So yeah, kind of a overall, I enjoyed the game. You know, it was it's fairly short. It's meant for more replayability. But yeah, I had a good time. It was a nice visit into this world of you know what's going on, and I heard it got put into kind of sort of developer. You know, it got lost in kind of development. I would like to see a second one in this world if possible, or you know, another world. I really did enjoy this game, and I think anybody out there who kind of plays it, keep an open mind. You know that it's not a big budget game. I don't think it's a big budget game. But yeah, I found it very, very enjoyable. So before I die, I'll say thank you guys for watching. There'll be more videos coming up soon, so you'll have a good one.